wasn't for you guys.
No.
Look, they're done, they're just
Nope, yeah,
finishing
nope.
up. Okay. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. This meeting of the Board of Supervisors will now come to order. We will stand for a pledge of allegiance and a moment of silence. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
thank you. Please be seated.
Sorry, you're fine.
Okay, this meeting has been called to order and now open. First item on the agenda is like to report that there has been no executive session since the last time that we met. And at this time, Helen, if we have anything else, we will entertain recognition of visitors.
Anyone want to talk? I'm not going through the whole list here, Henry.
Most of them left. I just have some updated call numbers for the supervisors as of the end of November. This is our overall call volume. It does not break down the per municipality and the type, but shows that we're pretty much on track with where we've been the last 4 or 5 years, between 1050 and 1200 calls as of the end of the year. So the only thing I want to draw your attention to specifically is in the bottom right corner, the total missed call rate for the year. That's times that we have a 0% first out fail rate, where every time we've had an emergency call, a first out emergency call, we responded. That's calls where we already have an ambulance on an incident and a second, third, or fourth ambulance has been requested. That number's been as high as 15% in recent years. But what we're seeing is that because of the way we're staffing with our non-emergency services, we're able to cover more of those secondary calls. I did see in Henry's request for information from last month that there was 30 some calls handled in Penn Township by other agencies, and I'm going to try to provide that breakdown. We're working on some of that data. There were some concerns on our end specifically about some of the personal data, the personnel, hours and rates and stuff, but we'll at least give you the formula with which we come up with our hourly rates and the schedules that we've posted thus far. We've got nothing to hide, like I've said before, and we're eagerly working on the information. Some of it was information that's going to be included in next year's report, or for 2014 anyway. So, as always, thank you for your ongoing support and that of the township, and have a good evening.
Thanks, Greg.
Anyone else? Ben.
Are you passing the budget there, Henry?
Pardon?
Is the budget what you passed tonight? Yeah, the supper's ready.
703 area code number, all of them. I don't hear that. How they even get it. Sorry, I forgot about it, folks. No, tonight, it could be Stanley, but we had a change on numbers that went in on the police department from back when.
And they're in here, and I put them on the handout.
They're in there and they're out in the handouts, and that allows us another week for anybody to take a look at the change or the reduction. We took a look at some numbers that was different than the original one, so that'd be for adoption for next Wednesday.
Okay, yeah, my question was because the police budget, or police contract with Duncan wasn't signed yet.
Yeah, and so,
Understanding, so. Okay.
okay?
Yep, thank you.
Anyone else? Oh, Stan.
Quick question, the hearing that we just went through here, the decision for whether or not they can or cannot zone or build there, how is that made? Is that an executive session? Is that process done?
They will have to make a motion either tonight or next week, I guess, or whenever you guys wish to at a meeting.
I'm just trying to figure, I just want to understand how that goes, that's all.
They have to decide whether they are going to advertise an ordinance for it or not.
Yeah.
Okay,
And that's
so-
got to be at a public meeting, whether it's tonight or
Okay.
don't know.
So it's something they'll discuss in an open meeting.
I'm assuming.
Sure.
Okay. Just
That was the purpose of this hearing, for the input for it, to let the supervisors see and hear what's out there, to make a decision whether you even want to entertain a zoning change.
Just curious,
That's it.
you know, I knew what it was like to go through a conditional use, and this was totally different.
Bob?
Yeah, for Brian, here, a little while back, you didn't vote on the fire budget. Then the following meeting, you said the fire money, and then the following meeting said you didn't have enough information. Then after the last meeting, Henry had given Mr. Nace a list of questions and all, and I just wondered what you were interested in there with the EMS that would influence you on voting on the EMS budget.
I wasn't privileged to that information given to Mr. Hay, so I don't know how to respond to that.
Oh, okay. I was wondering, but it surprised me that with the police that you weren't able to vote for it in your conference, that's all. All right, thank you.
In regards to that, just so that it's not made look like we weren't given information, that issue has been discussed at every meeting. Greg waiting for me to get back to him and to sit down and talk privately. And I admit that I was swamped, didn't get there, so I put those in writing, and that was a carryover from last year yet. That went for what we were talking about clear last year, that we wanted to get that information out there. It was one of those things that I personally, by golly, Greg and I had talked about last year. And so that's still a follow-up on some of that, Greg, you know, from what we had talked about. So that was the reason why I took that and put it in writing, and instead of sitting down and hashing it out between you and I as we had talked, it's on writing, give you a chance to prepare something off the writing to come back. Okay, and that's what what that was all about.
We'll get it together.
Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Greg. Anything else?
I guess not.
Okay. PTMA waiver of fees for the zoning hearing.
Yes, they have a zoning hearing on Thursday and got a little overlooked. I'm asking if they can, they are asking to have their fees for the zoning hearing board waived.
As in the past, in all cases like that, working with municipal authority and whatnot, I'll make a motion that we waive the fees for our municipal authority for that zoning hearing.
I second the motion.
Motion made and second. All those in favor give their consent by saying aye. Aye. Ayes have it, so ordered.
The next
And
thing,
the budget, okay?
next week on the
Pardon?
agenda?
Yes.
I'm asking. Well, it's
Yeah.
either that or set another date.
No, I'd like to do
Okay.
it next week, Helen.
Okay, that's fine. Under new business, there's a email that came in from Marysville Borough. I'm not asking for an answer, I'm just giving it to you for FYI. I will be asking for an answer next week.
Okay? And is that all the?
That's all I have.
All the additional business that we have?
Yes.
Okay.
Everything else can wait for a week.
Is there anything else to offer by either supervisor?
Just if I can have a copy of that letter that your information gave to Mr. Mays.
Greg, you got the only copy I got?
I have it at the office. Do you have an email address? I get your email address. I can just get an email too.
Yes,
Okay, I'll get it after me.
thank you, sir.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Okay. Hearing no further business, I make a motion we adjourn. Do I hear a second? I second. All right then, motion second, all those in favor give their consent by saying aye. Ayes have it, so ordered, meeting is adjourned.
One more question. So I assume this is not the December meeting?
No, it's not. It's next Wednesday, the 17th. Just because we don't want to have it, it's Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve.